Hey, Josh here. I'm going to give you an introduction to the EHAB platform, and today we're going to be looking at the variance screen. So the variance screen is really simply a way to compare two plans and to understand the delta in weather risk between those two plans. So by default, what we'll compare is the main plan, whatever the plan is that you have set as the main. That's what we'll assume is the baseline. And you can change that very easily in the top right-hand corner using this drop-down by selecting another plan, and then you'll be able to set that as main. So I've today selected this variation of the plan to look at. And what we'll really simply do is highlight across the top here again in min, max, P20, P40, P80. There's been a change in the end date. So we'll highlight it green if we've knocked off days, or red if there's been days that have been added. We'll also highlight the total number of weather days that have actually been gained or lost, and similarly the number of delay days that have been lost or added. You can also then dig deeper into the data here to see on an activity by activity basis what has been the change, where has been the biggest shift. So few use cases for this screen. One would be just a general project controls, understanding what is the shifting baseline and how's that changing. So you can retain a handle on how many weather days you might expect to actually face. Another use case would be if there's been a change request or a compensation event or some kind of thing where you need to kind of basically reprice the contract. This will ensure that you put the correct number of weather days in there, because it will look at all of the risk that is cascading down, and perhaps something's been pushed into or out of a worse time of year to do a particular piece of work. So it gives you that confidence. Another use case would be to compare two different methodologies. So perhaps you're needing to change the way that you're going to be working, and you want to understand which actually is the most resilient to weather and climate risk. If you open the printable view, then once again, this opens that out in full screen. It gives you that ability to then kind of print this out or interrogate it on a big screen during a meeting. You can filter in this screen. You can look at impacted and non-impacted activities as well. And of course, top right-hand side is where you would actually print that view. So that's the variance screen. Really simple, compare two plans and get an understanding of the delta between the two. Thanks so much for listening. And if you have any other questions, then there's an email just below where you can reach us to give questions, feedback, anything like that. Thank you.